I have a bruiser on my mat, so I'm gonna, well, you guys lay down. Draw your knees into your chest. Negotiate your puppies. Oh. And circle your knees apart and together. And switch directions. Hug your right knee to your chest and your left leg up high and flex and point. Take your time. Align your foot and ankle with your knee and hip. Focus on spreading the sole of the foot and the toes in that dorsiflexion and reaching through the toes in that plantar flexion. Hold dorsiflexion and let's circle the leg right here as though there were a platter on your foot. I've done this one in a while. And go the other way. This alone is really just cool because I'm sucking in my abs. I'm keeping my pelvis really still and isolating the rotation of the femur bone or that ball in the socket. Find the center and send the leg down. Hold that deep, deep dorsiflexion all the way down. Keep flexing that left leg at foot and accompanying muscles as you circle that right knee into your chest. And go the opposite way. And again, I'm keeping awareness through the silhouette, keeping the outer frame still. Pull that right knee toward the right armpit with your left hand smooth down the skin from your rib cage to the top of your left thigh. Bring your knee into the midline, reach your right arm open and twist here. Reach out through that right arm, looking over the right shoulder. Look to the back right corner of your space. Stretch your eyes and then look at your hand and look back to the right and look at your hand. One more time, stretch, look back to the right corner, far as you can in your room. And then more local, look at the hand. And circle that right arm down, out in front of you, all the way around you, and follow your hand with your eyes. Reach out to the right and let that pull you onto your back. Hug your knees once again into your chest. Keep the knees together, so we're tightening that silhouette up, and circle the knees as one unit. And go the other way. Maybe you're noticing this in your digestive system, feeling a little bump up against the colon, large intestine. And then wrap your hands around your left shin, send your right leg up, and start to slowly open up that right foot by flexing and pointing. Spreading the sole of the foot and reaching through the toes. Try to separate each toe. And on that point, try to keep that big toe from overlapping over that second toe. Hopefully you don't have that issue. Or it could be a different set of toes that are over crossing. Like I think my dad's middle toes cross, which is so icky. And then flex that foot, reach through the heel. We're going to keep the silhouette strong, the outer frame, and you're going to circle the right leg as though you're presenting a platter on your foot. And go the other way. And then reach through that right leg all the way down, keeping that strong heel dorsiflexion. So the heel's reaching farther than the ball of the foot. Pull the left knee closely to your chest and circle. Keeping steady and strong in the outer frame and finding that mobility within that context. Go the other way. Hold that left shin, pull the left leg toward that left armpit with your right hand, smooth the superficial layer of skin from the ribs across that right thigh. Think of your hand as this warm iron, smoothing out any wrinkles, any bumps, adhesions, simply through the suggestion. And then bring the knee into the midline, reach out through your left arm, shift your hips to the left as you bring your left knee across, look out over your left shoulder. Breathe here with your right hand, sweep the outer left waist or the waist to the outer left hip. And there may be some soreness here, some low back pain, some hip pain. And this is just one example of many, many, many where activating the muscle is better than going deeper into flexibility. So if there were soreness there, you would press your left hand on that outer leg and push the left leg into the hand, abducting, using those abductors. And that can often alleviate the back pain that you might have felt from the stretch. And then if that didn't work, we adduct, hold below, is what I'm trying to say, below the knee, and press the knee into the hand and the hand into the knee. So we're firing up those adductors. Whew. And then you might find that your flexibility increases when you take away that tension, and the knee may go closer to the floor with greater ease. Is that wild? Look out at the left hand and look to the far left corner of your space. Just the eyes move. And then look at the hand again. Local focus. And then look out into the distance. And then look locally. And then distant. And again at the hand. Following that hand, you're going to circle the arm down, out in front of you, all the way around. Do this a couple times. Limbering up that arm, getting some nice synovial fluid in this crazy shoulder area. It's a wild apparatus of the shoulder. Reach that left arm out to the side once it gets there and let that roll you to your back. Square yourself onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. And if you're working with lower back pain, a block between the legs as often as you need it throughout practice is always good because it helps fire up and the adductors and abductors, and it stabilizes the pelvic floor. We're just going to do some bicycles here, really simple, to activate more of our core. Our obliques, our transverse abdominals. So pull the abdominal muscles tightly toward the spine, keeping them taut as you cycle from side to side. This one's great for lower back pain because the long leg helps to create some traction for the lower lumbar. So the leg that's extending is helping to release the back, and at the same time, we're turning on lots and lots of our core muscles. Let's do 5 each side. 5, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press, actually just hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little break, maybe pull them in a little bit farther, just feeling into that low back, maybe giving it just a tiny bit of stretch. You don't want to force it because it will rebel. And then cross your shins, rock on up. Let's come to our quadruped position. We want to turn our hands out just a little bit because it makes it easier on the shoulder girdle. We're going to turn our knees out. So we're in external rotation of the legs. So the knees are out, the feet are together, and we're going to do a cat-cow in external rotation, both of the arms and the legs. Inhale as you come through that cow shape, and exhale as you round it to that cat. Nice tone in the lower abdominals. Nice spread across the shoulder blades. And we're starting to lubricate the neck. One more round, coming into cat. And then ease out of it. We're going to do the opposite with the knees. Bring the knees together, feet apart. If either of these hurt you, don't force it. Just go back to a more neutral pose. Let's turn the hands in as well. So the hands are turned in, not aggressively, probably about I would say 10 and 2 in front of you. So left is at 10 and is that right? No, left is at 2 and right is at 10. Inhale and arch, look up, and exhale around, taking some cat-cows here. And if it's too much to have the legs like that or the hands like that, go back to neutral. I think this is pretty tricky. And again, this is why I like when I think of flexibility, one of the reasons I like it, because you never know, this is unusual to be in this position here, but there's all things we get, all kinds of contortions and things that happen in our day. And we want to move through it with ease. And then come to neutral when you're ready. Let's just take a neutralizing child's pose. If it hurts your knees, however, try a towel or a blanket behind the knees, or don't go so far back, or take it like a puppy pose and walk your chest forward, leaving your hips high over your knees so that you still get a lot of traction in the upper back and shoulders. Otherwise, come into child's pose, sending your hips all the way to the heels and extending those arms for a shoulder stretch. Try to let the space between the shoulder blades, that middle, the back of the heart area, that skylight area, soften toward the ground. Let the armpits soften, let your elbows soften. And then softly suck your belly button towards your spine. It kind of tucks into that space, that fold here, that hip hinge, and roll up slowly, one vertebra at a time, sitting on your butt. Take your hands behind you, interlace them, roll the shoulders back, lift the chin, allow the lower back to arch as you reach your hands in the direction of your feet or floor. Big chest opener here. And then lift the head carefully back to neutral. You're going to interlace your fingers if you have, well, those should be already interlaced, and bring that fist over to your left hip. So just moved it over. Squeeze both your elbows back toward each other and drop your chin to your chest. Take your right ear toward your right shoulder. Keep squeezing the elbows back. You may not feel much at first, and then the sensation may grow. Drop your chin down. Relax your hands down toward the floor, switch the cross of your fingers, and once again, roll the shoulders back, lift the chin, drop the head back. Reach the fist down toward the ground. Let that lower back arch. And then tuck the tailbone a little as you come back to neutral. Move the fist over to the right hip, bank it there. Squeeze your elbows in toward each other, drop your chin. Roll your left ear toward your left shoulder. And breathe here. Let the sensation find you. Maybe, if needed, move the chin just a tiny bit up and down. Just like a centimeter in either direction. It's probably enough to get that sensation. We don't want to activate anything crazy, so just a little sensation. That's all we need. Whew. And then drop the chin to the chest, release the hands down the back, separate the fingers, come forward onto your hands and knees, and just give your feet a smack. Shin, smack them out on the floor. And then let's come down onto the forearms. Do one more big strengthening here. Oh, it has a lot to say to it. So you're on your forearms. Squeeze your heels toward each other because the feet have a tendency to sickle here. Sickle out, kind of flare out. So heels straight up. Put weight on the wrists and try to lengthen out your body underneath. So the top part tends to sort of make a triangle like a teepee, and we hunch. Try not to do that. Lengthen out, spread across the shoulder blades, find muscle there. Take tension out of the neck. Soften your eyes, squeeze your glutes, and breathe. If it's possible through the nose, but any breath will do. And lower to the tummy. March those elbows a tiny bit forward. Plug the forearms into the ground, Sphinx pose. Lift the chin all the way up. Open the eyes up. Imagine you could look all the way behind you. Pull the elbows isometrically toward you. And then release down to the floor. Place hands on the side of the chest. Point the elbows toward the ceiling. Pubic bone down. Inhale, breathe up into a cobra. Exhale through all fours to a nice down dog. Inhale to the balls of the feet. Exhale, one knee, press one heel down into the mat. Inhale up, exhale, switch it up. And then approach your hands, walk up to the wrists, so your wrist distance apart, bend the knees, catch opposite elbows, slide those elbows over the top of the head, and turn your head within the frame of the arms, no, and yes. And align your feet, make sure they're parallel, heels and balls of the feet pressing into the ground, all the corners of the foot. Hinging here at the hips, just letting the spine find that detangler of gravity or whatever this is, allows us to hang. And then switch, hold the opposite forearm in front, hold those elbows. There's something with the new, I guess it's not that new anymore, but quantum physics and gravity, they can't have both concepts don't make sense, I guess, together. So who knows what's what. Maybe Lou knows. And then release your hands, toe heel your feet together, bend your knees, pull your heart forward, sits bones back. Exhale, fold, drop the head. Inhale, lift through the chest, rise up, circle the arms up, grab that left wrist, lift up and over to the right. Look up to the left. Nice side stretch here. Very important for the lower back to open up these sides.
I think you guys all have pretty open sides. I do not. Inhale, reach up, grab the right wrist up and over toward the left, look up to the right. Although today it feels better than usual, which is really nice. Inhale, reach up, bend your elbows, slide the shoulder blades down the back. Open that chest up. Gorgeous. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, nice swan dive forward. Inhale, look up. Have your blocks at the front of the mat. Step back with your left foot, pat it, your left knee. Left knee's going to the ground. Pat it as you need, which maybe not at all. Now, what I find here is the hips are so tricky. Mine, like I think they're in line, but they're not. That right hip tends to hike up, right? Or that left hip tends to stick out, or something else weird happens. But we want to have the pelvis straight ahead. So the hip bones are forward. Squeeze those outer hip muscles, adduction, right? Squeeze toward that midline. And so you don't want to over tuck the tailbone because that'll really hurt. And then go forward far. So we're going to bring that right knee well over the toes. If you can, point your back toes. Try to make that left foot heavy as you go forth into this lunge. Woo! Yikes. Now let's use muscle here. Push down on the pedal of your right foot. Squeeze those scissoring muscles to lift you back up. Now let's take that back foot, left foot, and turn it to the right. So this is going to turn our pelvis to 10 o'clock-ish. And we're going to come forward here. It's a different feeling for sure. Pedal through that right foot. Try to suck the legs in toward each other as you come up. And we're going to, this is a bit tricky, but we're going to reach to the floor. Kick that right leg out a little more, and we're going to circle that right knee and hip. So we're on that left shin, and we're just going to put a little bit of weight onto that right leg like we're stirring. And we're going to stir. And switch directions. Ooh, that's much harder mentally and physically for me. Okay. Now, align that foot and left knee. So right arch, left knee, and stand up tall. You can turn your right foot in the same direction as the leg, or turn it to the left. I'm going to keep mine to the left. Reach both arms up, tuck tailbone under, and try to get really flat. Ribs in, tailbone long. So I'm on my, not sure what happened, Karen. I'm on the ground still. I'm on my left shin. I'm in precursor to triangle. Remember gate pose from back in the day? Yeah, exactly. And then right hand, oh, talk about side body. Right hand down that right leg. Left arm up by the ear. I was wrong. My side body is not open. Oh, moly. That left hip, she is tight here. Woo. And then reach that left arm down to your left. You can reach your right arm up kind of like a side plank. You can lift that right foot up in the air or leave it on the floor. Tailbone under. If you want, reach that right arm over the ear, look up to the right, into that right arm. There's a nice stretch there, isn't there? For that serratus anterior and exterior. Circle that right arm down, come onto both shins, and pivot forward. You guys okay? So that is some deep rooting into the hips, rootin' tootin'. And opening up of hopefully those nerves that might have been constricted. Let's make ourselves cozy here. So if you need to be on fists or forearms, and we're just going to circle the hips in neutral. So take a little hip circle here. You can make these much bigger or keep them really small. Eventually, we're gonna make our way through into cobra. So find yourself there, kind of snake yourself forward, squeeze, clip your elbows in, curl the chin up. Oof. Push back to all fours, tuck your toes, and nice down dog. Walk your feet up to your wrists. Feet are hip width distance. Arrange your feet well, so parallel. Spread your toes. Inner outer corner of the ball of the foot on the floor, center of the heel on the floor. Interlace the fingers, bend the elbows, drop the head. Make a fist so the palms touch, or go ahead and grab a prop, a belt or a towel. Keep the fist palms together. Keep those elbows slightly bent as you ease forward here. Woo. Nice opening for the shoulder heads. I'm trying to lift the front of the shoulders and roll them back, squeezing shoulder blades toward each other whilst keeping the muscles in the back of my arms activated. Oh, and while breathing. Good. And then let the hands fall toward the buttocks, switch the lacing, palms together. And again, keeping elbows bent, try bringing those hands forward. Triceps are strong here. Shoulder heads are rolling back. They need the strength of the triceps, and this creates more musculature on the back. I hope. I have seen that to be true. And release the hands. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold in. Toe heel your feet together. Reach up through the chest, rise tall. Grab hold of your right wrist, lift up and over to the left, look up to the right, tailbone is under. Nice long silhouette here. Push down through the right foot, inhale up, grab the left wrist up and over toward the right, look up to the left. Give it a nice pull. Left foot is pushing. Inhale, reach straight up, bend those elbows, open the chest. Inhale, reach up high, swan dive forward. Inhale, look up, step back with your right foot. Send your tailbone back a little bit and then tuck your tailbone under. Keep that engaged, squeeze outer hips in, try to level the pelvis and make your way forward. Knees coming, left knee coming forward over those toes. Tailbone is strong, but not so strong that you feel like you're hurting yourself. Right toes pointed if you can. Try to balance here. Or use blocks. Stability is important. And try to bring the back of the left hamstring to touch your left calf. Back of the left hamstring to touch the left calf. So it's deep. Now push through that left foot, scissor the legs to come up. We're going to turn that right foot in. Like that. Is it in? Yeah, in. And then we're going to go again. So we're going to angle our hips a little bit toward 2 o'clock and go forward. Oh yeah, it's a different angle. So hold, for me, it's a much tighter angle, that inner thigh. And pedal through the foot, come back up. We're going to bring our hands in front of us, kind of shift that right knee a little bit, and then we're going to circle that left knee and explore. So my weight is on my right shin, a little bit on my left foot. My hands are between my knee and foot, and I'm trying to, it's kind of creepy, like monster. And I'm trying to circle that left knee. And it's really good. Like there's all kinds of things in this shape that are hard to find anywhere else. Access to muscles. Ah, cool. And then line up your left arch with your inner right knee. Come up, gate pose. Yeah. Reach both arms up and lean over to your left. Nice stretch for that right side body. Hips are tucked under, lower back long, belly pulled in. I'm just reminding myself of all those things. So you need them to. And then right hand comes down, left arm goes up, hips are under, ribs are in. You can lift that left foot, or if you find it better to have it on the ground, do that. For me right now, that is better because I'm getting a stretch on my outer left hip. I'm really liking left arm over ear if you want. Come on up, circle the hands to the front of the mat, turn yourself forward, and stretch it again into child's pose as a form of neutralizing. And as a way to just let the body take all that in. We worked at a lot of different planes at a lot of different angles. Give it a moment to process and integrate. Breathe and see how the breath is. Does it feel like there's more availability in the body? Look forward, come onto your hands and knees, and a nice down dog. Right leg up to the sky, bend that knee, open the hip up. Look under the other shoulder to bring a little more strength to the pose. We look under the left shoulder, that stabilizes the center, and then we can open the hip more cleanly toward the ceiling. So that right knee helps us turn that hip while not cheating on the left side. And then internal rotation, turn that right hip down toward the floor. Bring the knee toward your chest, step through to warrior one. Inhale, rise on up. Push down through your left foot. Stretch that left calf. Square your hips forward and lunge. Let yourself lunge until that knee comes well over that right foot. Not in front of the toes, but at least that right thigh is parallel almost to the floor or to the floor. Big, robust inhale. Exhale, step back and lower to chaturanga. Clip those elbows toward each other. Inhale to a full upward dog. Squeeze the butt. Exhale back, down dog. Lift that left leg. Look under the right armpit. Bend that left knee. Open up the hip. Use your knee as a tool to really try to get that hip more open. Turn that knee up like a lever. Look under the right arm. Push through your hands. And then internally rotate. Look forward, knee toward chest. Left foot lands at the left hand. Spin the back heel down. Inhale, arms come up, strength here as we lunge deeply into that left quad, right foot. Presses, and we stretch out that right calf. Big, robust inhale all the way up through the fingers. Exhale, empty it, step back quietly into plank, bend the elbows. Inhale, smooth up dog. Exhale back, down dog. Belly stays in. Breathe through the nose, evenly, steadily. Finding that joyous uprising breath, Ujjayi breath. Belly in, ribs in, back long, hands and feet working. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk or jump to your hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, flush out. Head, mind, flush. Bend the knees, come to chair. Raise your arms high. Feel those gorgeous quads. Pelvic floor strong. Exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale, look up.
Jump back to low push-up or step left foot, then right foot, low push-up. Move your pad out of the way. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, down dog. So if you have something blocking from before and it's in your way, move it. Right leg high. Good. Draw knee toward chest, step the right foot forward, spin the back heel down. Warrior one, inhale. Good. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Knee toward chest, step the left foot forward, spin the back heel down. Inhale, robustly. Breathe up through your fingers. Push down through that back foot. Good. Low push-up. Exhale. Inhale. Come on through. Smile at the sky. Exhale. Strong core. Back. Down dog. Breathe. Push through the hands. Use your legs to create traction in your back. The knees can bend to give your back even more space. Inhale, raise your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, travel to your hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Sit into your chair pose and raise those arms up high. Good. Exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, jump or step back, low push-up. Inhale, nice strong upward dog, smile, lifting pelvic floor with the smile. Exhale, back, down dog. Good. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest, step the right foot forward, crescent lunge. Inhale, rise. Stabilize pelvis. Adducting the legs. Good. Extend your arms behind you as you shift at the hinge of your hips, your torso forward about halfway toward your leg. Pull your belly in and warrior three here with the arms back in airplane. Use those tricep muscles that we turned on. Really good. Really good. Really good. Falling is good. And having the both flexibility and strength to fall safely is the key. Bring your right hand to the floor on a block and start to peel that left hip open. Do this in the way that feels instinctual, almost like your way. It's just a subtle thing, but what would open that left hip well? And then dorsiflex that, yeah, good, that left foot, that left ankle. Pull those toes toward you. And it's like, open up that body, half moon, shiny and gorgeous. Tuck the front ribs in, lengthen the lower back. Beautiful. Bend that right knee and take a giant warrior two pose from here. Stepping that left leg all the way back. Open the chest up. Go right into reverse warrior. Reach forward and shift back. Nice long right side body. Grab your top hand with that right wrist with left hand and give it a strong pull or a good pull. Safe pull. Oh yeah, right side. Woo! Reach your right arm forward and don't leave this pose. We're going to stay in side angle. So right arm reaches forward and left arm joins it. So both arms are going to reach overhead, using the strength of your pelvic floor, your legs, to be a badass yogini here. Oh, Bruiser just gave me a dirty look. No swearing. And back up, warrior two. One more breath. Inhale, cartwheel your hands down, low push up. Well done. Inhale, smoothly transition to your back bend, a gorgeous up dog. And exhale back to your down dog. Breathe in through your nose, make some sound. Ha, open your mouth. Ha. Do it again. Breathe in deeply. Open your mouth, let out a sound. Ha. I like to stick out my tongue and really clean out. Left leg up. Tongue goes away. And crescent lunge. Step your left foot forward. Inhale to rise up. Squeeze your outer hips, pelvic floor strong, chest forward, arms up. Beautiful. Now sweep your arms back like a tricep kickback. Feel the backs of the arms there, nice and powerful as you shift to warrior three with the airplane style arms. Pull tummy in to protect yourself. Now, open those arms up to the sides and then pivot. Swivel that left hand to the floor, right arm to the sky, and see how that right hip wants to open. Flex the right foot, toes toward you. Pull up those muscles in the front of that right leg and on the stirrup of your left. Beautiful. Squeeze your core by drawing your front ribs in, lower back long. Beautiful. Find your breathing. Animate your toes. Good. Generous bend in your standing leg. Step way back, warrior two. Reverse warrior right away. Get that left side going. Flip your left palm, stretch that left side back. Nice. Beautiful. Elena, pressure left knee, more left. Get that left inner groin open. Beautiful. Both arms rainbow forward to the front of the space. Side angle with extended arms. Reach both arms over your head. Side body long. Good. Amazing strength. Scissor your feet toward each other to rise back up. Warrior two. Oh yeah, you guys, good job. Cartwheel down, plank it up. Low push up. Inhale, upward doggy. Downward doggy. Come high on your toes, roll to your plank. Spin your heels to your left. Raise your right arm. Beautiful. Step your right foot forward in line with your navel. Put weight on that a little tiny bit, or reach down with your first two fingers and thumb and pick up your right foot and lift it up to the sky. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Lower down and everyone step to plank. Good job. Whew. Let's try the other side. Spin your heels the other way to the right. Step your left foot forward in front of your navel. So this can be the support of the pose, like a kickstand, or it can go somewhere else, reaching down with your first two fingers and thumb, grab that big toe and send the leg up to the sky. Sometimes it makes sense for one side and the other side literally cannot understand what any of those words mean. The brain is that clever. And step back, plank. Knees, chest, chin. And come forward into a cobra. Very good. Lie down onto your tummy. Stack your palms, bend your knees, and windshield wipe your feet. Massage your low back. Very nice. Lengthen your legs out behind you and slide your right knee up by your right armpit and stay there. In this little half froggy, try to move the weight of the right inner groin, right hip a little bit, maybe more to the right so the leg lays flatter, Sharon, you're fine. It's like sometimes we roll too far onto that left body. Lift your torso and slide your left hand underneath you to the outer right knee. Coming into a spinal twist, right arm reaches behind you. Kind of roll back into that spinal twist. Beautiful.
outer right hip long away from the waist. And then roll back to your tummy, lie down on it, and bring your left knee up by your left hip. Move it more to the left so you lay flatter. If you can, less space between your left hip and the floor. And again, I'll just say gravity. We're letting gravity work for us here. Sometimes this stretches my boob funny. I don't love that, so I'm just adjusting. Sometimes when I'm sleeping, I wake up and I find my spine. I can't even believe it's still connected. Like my legs are in one place and my butt is totally somewhere else. And I take this, like, I have a fearful moment where I'm like, will I be able to get myself back together? And I could have shifted myself with my hand. So far, still here, thank God. But I do get into some crazy sleep positions. Right hand comes underneath you, grab that left knee, reach that left arm behind you, and hopefully you have more space than I do to roll that left shoulder all the way to the ground. And if it's a choice, which it is usually for most of us, between the knee being on the floor or the shoulder, choose shoulder. So both shoulders, right and left down, left arm open. Look out to the left. Smooth that left hip away from the left waist. If you're very flexible and you have both down, great. I had a new client the other day and she said she was very, very stiff and that she has a sister who's like double jointed, which I think is another, so flexible. And just for my own curiosity, I asked if there's a personality difference. Like, is her sister a more open, easygoing person? Does it reflect in that way since there's such contrast? And she really didn't feel that was the case at all. Which I just thought was interesting because I'm definitely guilty of that assumption. Not necessarily true. In fact, it's not a good assumption if I think about it, because the parts of our body that are over flexible, like if we have a really flexible hip, then our low back suffers and our knee suffers. So actually our low back has to be tighter. So you could make the argument that a really flexible person, they have to have a tighter personality to like hold themselves together. You could probably argue a lot of things. All right, and then roll onto your back from here. Hug your knees into your chest. I want to take just the quickest inversion. So you're going to pop your legs up into some kind of shoulder stand or supported shoulder stand here. Just nice and quick. Because I listened to a podcast on Alzheimer's this morning that convinced me, not at all a yoga podcast. It's the People's Pharmacy. They're kind of chatty and folksy, but interesting podcast for sure. When they have good people. And it convinced me more than ever that inversions are probably very, very important for the brain. Bend the knees. It's the most recent People's Pharmacy podcast. Let the feet go behind you. Knees can be really bent. We don't want any low back pain here, unless you're a masochist. And then slowly come on down, which I have been guilty of in my life for sure. Bring your elbows under you and lower the crown of the head to the floor for a lovely fish pose. Letting the heart rise up, feeling that open space at the chest. Push down through the elbows to carefully negotiate the lifting of the head. Slide your arms out from under you, reach back to your head, hold it in your hands, and with great care, move it left to right. So just giving your neck the perfect amount of traction that you require. Hold the base of the skull. Make a picket fence with your fingers along the base and slowly lower your head onto the floor supported by that fence. And then you can take that scaffolding away and bring your arms down. As you do that, lay the shoulder blades more flatly onto the back. Oh, and they prop the chest open. Roll your limbs in and out. And then take a delicious, deep, long breath. Inhale. And exhale. Please take a deep breath in. And a long, cleansing, detoxing breath out. One more huge, deep inhale. And a long exhale. And let yourself transition into Shavasana, corpse pose. I'm going to invite you to stay 2 to 3 minutes in this pose. Unfortunately, I have to sign off early because we went just a little, well, we always do. It's a little bit past and I have something important to attend. I have to go, but I love you guys and I will see you next week. Sharon, I will miss you. And I'm open to doing another day if you want next week. And Bruiser and Lola, say hi. They're sleeping they were here for this class. So I love you guys. Please rest for a few minutes and do your own Om. Bye-bye.